Saturday game that I think could be more interesting than people expect, Cart, in the Big East. Marquette against Seton Hall. This is a road game. Seton Hall, usually very good at home, but I can't get the loss to Rutgers out of my mind when I think about this team. There's not many teams in the country that I can't see what's coming from more than Seton Hall. Anytime I think they're going to be good, they're bad. Anytime I think they're going to be bad, they're going to be good. We know Marquette's good. What is Seton Hall going to do in this game? Are they going to show up?
Uh, I can't call it. I cannot confidently say if they're going to show up or not. I'm more interested to see if Marquette's going to play with 6 players or 5 players, because I don't know if they're going to have help side Shaka involved in this game, or the rest are going to let that go. That'll be interesting. But you truly don't know with this Seton Hall team. And that's what makes them scary. You would think that at home would be the spot they would show up in, but I mean, eh, if they do pull this off, what you have Seton Hall beating UConn already, Providence, and then they could be in a spot where they beat Marquette as well. That'd be like a crazy, crazy thing to wrap your head around. And, I don't know if it's necessarily because I don't want to sound like a hater, but this is going to come off very hater-ish. Seton Hall is winning these games. And tell me if I'm wrong. Has anything necessarily impressed you about Seton Hall besides that they're winning the games? Like, it's impressive they're winning, but I can't like pinpoint what it exactly is, like why they're winning these games.
So I think I want to make sure I word this correctly. They have some shit to them.
Shaheen's got them like
we always say he has some shit to him in like a personal sense.
mm-hmm.
Seton Hall, the program under Shaheen Holloway, has some shit to him. And I think that's a Shaheen Holloway characteristic that I think will probably last wherever he coaches for however long he coaches. We saw what he did at St. Peter's. That team had some shit to him. I don't think this Seton Hall team is particularly talented. I don't think they really do anything overly well. I think Dre Davis and Kadari Richmond are old and they're good, but those aren't like all conference guys. Kadari Richmond might be, I guess, at the end of the year in the Big East. They're old, like I'll say that. They start 5 seniors. So I think like we know old wins in college basketball, especially when old guys are well coached and they play hard. But that's sort of just like you watch Seton Hall to me, the games they have played well, it's just like they're in your shit from start to finish. Now, their 2 biggest wins this season have come over Providence and UConn. Do you know what happened in those 2 games?
Injuries to star players.
UConn lost Klingon and the whole game flipped. Providence lost Hopkins and the whole game flipped. So I like, can Seton Hall keep winning their marquee games if the marquee team's best player keeps leaving the game? Yeah, I think so. I don't know that they win either of those games if those guys remain on the floor.
Yeah, they definitely had, some things go their way. But you also at the same time always have to end that giving credit to them for playing the game and winning the basketball game. So, it is what it is. In this game, I haven't sold my Marquette stock whatsoever. To be honest with you, I still think this is a really good basketball team. I think they are clearly, in my eyes, the second best team in the Big East, behind UConn. And I think maybe people could even make an argument that without Klingon, Marquette might be the best team in the Big East. Who knows? It probably flips back and forth or has done so throughout the season. But to me, I just got a feeling like Marquette comes into this game and just kind of runs away with it somewhat. Like this something in me just feels like this is going to be a game where Marquette just maybe reminds Seton Hall a little bit like what this really is. Like
Yeah.
there's levels to the Big East. Like, yes, you guys got some shit to you. You're good. You got some good wins on your belt, but also like we're not on the level that you're on.
I would like to believe that happens with Marquette. Marquette at their best has been really, really good this year. Like going into Champaign, getting a win over Illinois, that's going to hold up as one of the best wins any team has this season. In Maui, they go 2-1. The Purdue game, I mean, they went wire to wire with Purdue better than any team that's not Northwestern has. Really, their only bad losses, and they're not even bad, but have been on the road at really tough places to play. Like Providence at Providence, everybody loses there. Wisconsin at Wisconsin, everybody loses there. So they take care of business everywhere else. I would like to think Marquette can go win and cover in this game. And I think I am going to predict that as long as they stay healthy, of course, knock on wood. But I think that the Creighton game was a little bit too much of a close call for Marquette. And they were down 8 for a lot of the first half. And then they just seemed to remember, like, oh, yeah, we're better than these dudes. And in the end, that led to a 5-point win. But as long as they don't sleepwalk, which oddly enough, I don't think you can sleepwalk on the road. So I think we're going to get an intensely focused Marquette version from the moment the ball tips in this game. I think that's bad news for Seton Hall because Marquette has the advantage inside with Oso. They have the advantage in the backcourt with Kolek and Jones. Other than maybe the wings, I don't see a spot on the floor that I like Seton Hall and what they can offer over Marquette.
Yeah, true. But also it'd be very Seton Hall-y for them to just we got shit to us our way to a win over
Right.
Marquette. If
That's
they
that's
if they do that, like what are the conversations about Seton Hall going to be? Because to me, it'd be like, all right, this is Shaheen establishing, and obviously they had some good years with Willard, but I think there's a culture shift, a culture change, a coaching difference in Willard and Shaheen. And I think Shaheen's establishing that right now. And then it gets scary if he starts getting guys at Seton Hall type situation.
yeah. Is it weird for me to make a comparison to Shaka?
Mm, interesting. Talk to me on that.
So Shaka made his mark on college basketball with one crazy NCAA tournament run with a team that had some defensive pressure stuff to them that, for lack of a better word, had shit to them. And then
Hmm.
it became a thing of like Shaka's guys. And then he got the big phone call from Texas and he went to Texas. And if you ask anyone involved, he stopped recruiting Shaka's guys, right? He was trying to get 5 stars. Notably, 5 stars don't necessarily always have that dog in them. 5 stars have different motivations. They're talented. They don't need to go get in your shit, get in your shorts for 40 minutes. Havoc, right? Then he goes back to Marquette. People have a different opinion of Shaka now, but he goes back to getting some of his guys that have some shit to him. And Marquette looks like one of the best teams in the country the last 2 seasons. I could see a similar career arc for Shaheen, quite honestly. I think Shaheen's best teams are going to be teams that don't have a ton of talent. So I honestly am not like, if he starts getting some guys into Seton Hall, I think I like that less than if he just has Kadari Richmond and like, we got to go grind one out tonight.
I like that. I like that. He recruits. He's recruiting guys. He's recruiting, like you said, Shaka guys. He's recruiting Shaheen guys.
Yeah.
With that said, if Shaheen pulls up with hair next year, then we got to go back to this clip and be like, okay, wow, he really is fully embracing it. And I hope to God he never starts rocking the long sleeve under the polo. Just keep it on.
Which Shah would you rather have in this game?
With Shaw, would I rather have?
Yeah, which Shah of the two Shahs? Which Shah would you rather Shah?
I rather have Holloway, but I know that the better coach right now is probably Shaka.
Yeah, I don't think that was the smart choice from you.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, did you catch my smart choice there?
I did see that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. The Shah that I would rather Shah with is Shah, Shah. Uh,
Yeah.
that's my guy.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
prediction time. I think Marquette wins this game. I think they win it by 11 points. What's your prediction?
Do you have the spread on it, or is it out yet?
Ken Palm has Marquette favored by 5 on the road in this game. The betting spread is not out at the time of recording.
Okay, got that. Yeah, I think Marquette wins this game by double digits. I'd say somewhere in like the 13 to 17 point range.
Okay, so congrats to Seton Hall fans on their victory because we cannot figure the Seton Hall team out whatsoever.